absolute pleasure to perform at FDC last year, and to be back here again for one last time means the most to me, and I'm hoping I can entertain you all today. But before I begin, I do want to give a big shout out to Victor for helping me set up with all of this. Most importantly, I do want to thank everyone at the Challenge staff for making time for me to do this. I really want to give a big round of applause for the Challenge staff. So I want to say that my past year of doing Magic has been one of the best that happening to me so far. Because just a year ago, exactly today, was the first ever time I performed for a large crowd like this. And since then, that has taken me to where my Magic journey is right now. And the summer has been a very eventful time for me to just learn and spend time with a lot of people, great people for that matter, and just to learn a bunch of new things. Not to just promote myself, but to give back to everyone here, just to show you all what I can do for you, and most importantly, just entertain you all, for that matter. But for those of you here who are brand new, some of you may not know me. My name is Nelson. I am a senior at USC, and I just wanted to perform something for y'all today. And I do, a lot of people ask me how my journey with Magic started, because that's the most important thing. And we got a spotlight now. So. When people think of magicians, they usually think of someone pulling a rabbit out of a hat or sawing someone in half. Now, I don't do that. But I like to say that the first time someone showed me sleight of hand card magic was like the most unreal experience I've ever seen. I like to say it was love at first sight, but I fell in love with the things that I couldn't see. So, because of that, upon learning this, my dream was to become a card shark. For those of you who don't know what a card shark is, a card shark is essentially someone who is very good at handling cards and can control the outcome of any card game. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you all today. And I want this to also serve as a lesson for each and every one of you to never, ever play cards with strangers. So shall we get started? So, why don't we get down to it? So, when we think of card games, I'm pretty sure all of us have played our fair share of card games in our lifetime. And whether you're playing a game like poker or a game like Speed or Spoon or things like that, all of you know that 4 of a kind is indeed a powerful hand to have. It can be any 4 of a kind, like a king, queen, jack, or a 10, but nothing beats the 4 aces. But here's the thing though. Getting 4 aces dealt to you in a game is almost impossible, because the odds of you getting dealt 4 aces is 1 in 50,000. But I figured out a solution that allows me to conjure up 4 aces at any point in the game. And that solution is something I like to call, it started with C, I remember. Cheating. Yeah, so that's the solution. So I'm going to conjure up 4 aces for you here. Now, keep in mind though, there's a multitude of techniques that I use to locate the 4 aces, no matter where they are in the deck. The first method I use is something called shuffle tracking. Does anyone know what shuffle tracking is? For those of you who don't know what shuffle tracking is essentially keeping track of a certain card in the deck as you shuffle it. So let's take, for instance, the Ace of Diamonds. The Ace of Diamonds was last seen around the 39th position. I know. But here's the thing though, that's a little far down, so I want to bring it back up a little bit higher. So if I give it a shuffle like this, 39 now becomes 28. If I give it a couple cuts like this, 28 now becomes 22. And if I do that correctly, I should be able to cut down to 1. And there's your first ace right there. So, but next up along the line is the Ace of Clubs. Now the Ace of Clubs was last seen around 43rd. Now that's really far down, so I'm going to give it a couple cuts like this. And at this point, 43rd should now become 27. And just like that, I should be able to shoot out 1 card from the middle here. And that should be, Ace of Clubs right there. So now, next up in line is the Ace of Hearts. Now the Ace of Hearts is a very sentimental card to me because that's my mom's favorite card. Because my mom always told me that the Ace of Hearts reminded her of me, how I was her one true love. Now I do have to admit something though. I actually don't know where the Ace of Hearts is at, to tell you the truth. But I learned in my lifetime that if you were to take half the deck, flip it upside down, you should be able to pull out one card, and I believe that should be the Ace of Hearts right there. So that's 3 now. But last up in line is the Ace of Spades. The Ace of Spades is one of the most commonly named cards in the deck, so I'm going to make sure to go a little bit slowly on this one right here to make sure that I get the best production I can get. Now, if I remember correctly, the Ace of Spades was last seen around the bottom of the deck here. Now, that's really far down, like probably 49. Now, I'm going to cheat a little bit here. It's not like I've been cheating the whole time, so what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take half the deck, place it back down, and bring this up. At this point, 49 now becomes 22. And this is where all the years of sleight of hand comes in. This is where all the years of practice, commitment, and self-denial. I should be able to pull out one card from the middle here, and that should be your Ace of Spades right there. And just like that, that is all 4 aces found in a matter at any point. Those techniques are what the fundamental card cheats use. Now, there's a lot of other techniques that card cheats use, but the most important thing is separating a good card cheat from a great card cheat. So what I just showed you were more so of what good card cheats do. Right now I want to take it up another notch right here and to demonstrate to you what the great card cheats do. Now, I don't claim to be a great card cheat or anything. I just want to demonstrate to you what that's like. So the first thing you have to do is memorize an entire deck of cards. Now, memorizing an entire deck of cards is a very, very long process, very time consuming. So I do apologize ahead of time because I do have to memorize these cards, and I'm very sure that we're really close on time. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to try to get over it as fast as I can. It might take a little bit, but okay, I think we're good. And because of this, I do need someone to come on up. So if any volunteers would like to come on up for this one.
Hey!
Okay.
Kid.
Okay.
I get volunteered to do this.
Okay, you can see over here. Now I just memorized this entire deck of cards. Would you believe me? Would you believe me when I said that?
I don't know, man.
Well, let's try this though. You can see for a fact that all the cards are for sure mixed up, and all of you can see that too. I want you to simply name any card you want for me. It could be anyone you want. The 2 of clubs. Now, is there any reason why you chose the 2 of clubs?
No,
There's not a reason. Well, since I memorized the deck, I know where it is. I know exactly where it is. And all I have to do is simply spread down to the area where I believe the 2 of clubs is at. And I believe it should be about... right there. So, but you're probably thinking that's beginner's luck. You probably think that's beginner's luck. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to name me another card. It can be any card you want.
Okay. Let's do the 3 of diamonds.
The 3 of diamonds?
Yeah.
Now you see, I know where that is, because it's the 12th card in the deck.
Okay.
It's okay, I want you to do me a favor here. You said 3 of diamonds, and I know for sure it's the 12th card in the deck. I'm going to count to 11 first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you said 3 of diamonds, and I said it was in the 12th position. This is the 12th card. If I believe, this should be your 3 of diamonds in the 12th position right here. But the one thing that is different is that anyone can do this. But what separates a good card cheat from a great card cheat is to demonstrate all of these abilities into one cohesive demonstration. So, Kay, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to cut off a portion of the deck, and I want you to place it into my hand right here.
Gotta do this right. That's it right there.
That's it right there? You're very sure.
So sure.
And now here's the thing, though. This was a genuine, honest cut.
Yeah.
You genuinely could have cut to anywhere you wanted. But the most interesting part is that you gave me exactly 37 cards. A lot of people don't believe me when I say it's 37 cards, but I know for sure it's 37. Yeah, it's 37. a standing ovation when I do this. But I'll prove it to you that it is in fact 37. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. But why don't we take it up a notch? So you gave me 37 cards, and that means you cut to exactly the 38 card. And if I remember correctly, the 38 card is the 10 of hearts. So this is a 38 card right here. You know, people wouldn't believe me when I say it's a 10 of hearts, but it actually is a 10 of hearts. So.
Okay.
You know, people call me a liar, but a wise man once said, reality can be whatever I want. And that is in fact the 10 of hearts. I mean, that was impressive and all, but you know what's interesting? The 38th card was the 10 of hearts, right? Can you help me remember these numbers? 24, 34, and 49. Do you know those numbers?
Say them again.
Do you know what those numbers mean? 24, 34, and 49. You see, your 10 of hearts, you see your 10 of hearts was in the 38th position. So that's one of the 10s in the deck, right? How many other 10 cards are there in the deck? 3? How many numbers did I give you? The first number was 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. This is the 24th card. There's your 10 of clubs right there. That's another one of the 10s. And the next number was 24.
Yeah.
So 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. This is the 34th card. That should be your 10 of spades right there as well. That's another one. And then the last number was 49, I believe. So that's 34. So 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. This is the 49 card. And that should be your last 10 of diamonds right there. Give that round of applause for us. Now, for this last demonstration, I need the help of someone who has played a lot of poker. Kyle's played poker? Oh, come on up. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you for joining. Have a seat, have a seat. So for this last effect, I want to do something a little bit different, and with that, I want to use a brand new deck of cards right here. Now Kyle, I gotta ask you, how many games of poker have you played in your life? Too many to count. So you're familiar with all the rings of the hands of poker? Yeah. Okay. So in a second, you're gonna name some hands of poker, and I'll keep you in on it. But just in case if you forget, this is a list of all the poker hands you can see right here. So this is all it, and that'll be your guide right here. Now, when you open a brand new deck of cards, they usually come with like the junk cards and like the jokers and stuff like that. So we don't really need these, honestly. So what I'm gonna do for you today can be done by any card sheet with any cards for your paycheck. So now, when you get a new deck, when you get a brand new deck of cards, they usually come in sequence like ace through king, king through race, king through ace. So I want to give these cards a couple shuffles to break that up. Now, Kyle, you know that when it comes to poker, the hands that you can get are very, very difficult to get, right? Like it's usually the odds are very low. And that's something I want to teach you all today, which is that when it comes to hands of poker, the odds of you getting it are very, very low. So I like to show you something where every time I play poker, I end up a winner. Now, I certainly wouldn't deal myself 4 aces, because that would just be way too sensational, and it would make it very obvious that I was cheating. So all I have to do is deal myself hands that are slightly better than my opponent's. And to do that, I practice the cutting to all the hands, from lowest to highest. Now, the odds of you getting hands of poker are very low, but people try to make those odds more favorable by playing a version of poker called Deuces Wild, but I'm not going to waste your time cutting the deuces right here. So, now, Kyle, let me ask you, what is the lowest ranking hand you can have in poker?
Just high card.
Just a high card?
Straight high card.
Yeah, straight high card only, so there's no pairs or anything like that. Now, if I'm going to play high card, I'm going to play an ace. Whoa. Now, let's assume, for instance, Kyle, that you're playing a high card. What is the next highest ranking hand after that?
High card king.
Or a pair. A pair. Yeah, right. Yeah, this is guy you call right here. Now, so a pair. A pair is essentially 2 cards that are of the same value. So say, for instance, like 2 5s, like 2 5 ranking die. And I believe there's a pair of 5s right about here. So, yeah. But Kyle, let's assume, for instance, that you're playing a pair of 5s. If you're playing a pair of 5s, you're going to play the next highest ranking hand, which is a 2 pair. And if I'm not mistaken, there should be a pair of 4s right about here. Yeah, a pair of 4s right about here. And there should be a pair of 6s right about here. You're starting to see the pattern now. Now, the next highest ranking hand after a 2 pair is a 3 of a kind. And do you know what the odds are of getting a 3 of a kind?
It's 1 in thousands, if not.
It's actually 1 in 50. It's actually 1 in 50. But to be honest though, I don't have time for 1 in 50 because honestly, who has time for odds like 1 in 50 right here for 3 of a kind? Now, the secret to this is to watch out for all these hands because a hand like a pair, 2 pair, or a 3 of a kind will occur naturally in a shuffled deck. But the next highest ranking hand after a 3 of a kind is a straight. So say for instance like 2 through 6 in order. So you can get like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now a straight is a little bit more difficult to find because it's unlikely that you're going to find 2 through 6 in order. It's more likely that you're going to find a straight in fragments. So for instance, you might find 2 and a 5 right about here. You might find 3 and a 6 right about here, which means now all I have to do is go down to the middle of the deck to find that last one, which should be that 4. So you can see a straight is a little bit more difficult. Now, getting this straight to the top of the deck is essentially only half the work. If I want that straight, I would have to stack the deck, which means I would have to cut that straight into the middle, but I'm still keeping track of it. I'm going to give these cards a couple shuffles for a 3-handed game of poker. That way, when I deal, I should receive the straight. Now, the player in the first position, I don't even think he got much of anything, honestly. I believe he got a pair of 8s and a jack high, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, a pair of 8s and a jack high, right there. So, but the player in the second position, I don't even think he got much of anything. I don't even think he got a pair. Yeah, he didn't really get a pair, and honestly. But you can see that I ended up oh wait, that's the straight. You see, when you're 1 card off, you could actually end up giving your opponent a very strong hand. I honestly can't believe I gave him the straight. But Kyle, what is the next highest ranking hand that beats a straight? A flush. A flush. And that's what all the cards are the same suit, right? Like this right here. It looks yeah, like all clubs as well. So and I even gave myself the A-side flush just in case someone next to me was going to play a flush. And the odds of you getting a flush are actually 1 in 500. But you know, some people try to make those odds more favorable by playing Deuces Wild, like we talked about earlier. But I'm not going to waste your time cutting the deuces. I mean, playing Deuces Wild is for amateurs, honestly. So, now, in that last round, I gave my opponent a very strong hand. Why would I give my opponent a very strong hand, especially on purpose? Well, I did that on purpose because not only does it guarantee that I'm going to have a hand that's slightly stronger, it also guarantees that I'm going to win the most money. And for this next round right here, that's exactly what I did. I just stacked the deck so that the player in the first position will receive the next highest ranking hand after a flush, which is a full house. Now, Kyle, you want to explain to everyone what the full house is?
Full house is three of a kind of one card, like 3 threes, and then a pair of different card, like 3 threes and 2 twos. That would be a full house.
That's exactly correct. So essentially, I just stacked the deck for this 4-handed game of poker right here. Now, the first thing that the player to my left here is going to do when he sees this 3 kings and 2 queens, he's going to reach for his wallet. So will the player in the second position, because he's running the next highest ranking hand, 4 of a kind, 4 sevens with an ace high kicker. This player, on the other hand, is running the next highest ranking hand, which is a straight flush, 8 through queen of hearts right here. But don't worry, I'll have all my money on the table because I saved the best for last. A royal flush in spades. And that is why you should never play cards with strangers. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hope you all enjoyed the show.
Thanks, Nelson!